Hey everybody, Baldoric here. Today I want to talk about how I build units, how I level them, and how I choose what units I'm using for different modes like Aether Raids and or Arena. So I have some criteria that I usually go through before I pick a unit, and I want to just go over the couple things that I use that might help you decide what units you're going to be using for your Aether Raid runs or your Arena runs, and like maybe there's something you need or you've been thinking about working on. And maybe this will give you some tips on how I pick units, and maybe that'll help you. So, first off, let's talk about the first thing that I always go through before I pick a unit, which is, what do I need? What I mean by what do I need is, what kind of a role do I need to fill? So as you can see, this is one example of a carry team that I have, like a Vantage Sweeper team. So we got the two Mythic Heroes that have, like, so I have a Smite unit, which has the attack res link. So I know I have a buff coming in there. I have the Naga, which the Naga's main purpose is for that being a Mythic Hero and the Dragon effectiveness. Crony is my Sweeper. I don't always use 2 Savage Blows, but that's just kind of something I've been testing and it's been working really good. I have my Dancer with the Attack Tactic, which is going to help buff Cronia because there's only 2 infantry units on this team. And I have another one. This is the bonus hero for the season. It is now March 1st. So she's Fallen Delphia as my bonus hero. And I have pretty much a standard build on her. Usually I have something in her S slot, but I think I unequipped it to give to another unit, but that's okay. But she has a Smite just to help with mobility, and it's just a bonus hero, really. So, things that I think about when I'm building these teams. Well, do I have a support that really benefits this team? Or do I have the bonus hero for this season? Because something you always want to check, do you have one of the bonus allies? Okay, so the last 4 are typically units that you probably already have because they've been either like a free unit, or they've been in like a Tempest trial. There's usually one legendary hero. There's usually like an Asker trio, or a story character. There's a mythic hero, etc. So figure out if you need a bonus ally. If you don't have one, you definitely want one. Same applies for Arena. If you don't have one of those bonus allies, you're going to want it. And you're going to also want to make sure that you have a bonus ally for the season. So like if it's fire, fire wind season, you want like a fire wind legendary if you have it. And if not, you just want to make sure you build a team around whatever bonus ally you have to make sure that that bonus ally can maximize the score. Okay? So that's first, is I figure out what role do I need to fill. So right now, if I were to look at this, like my list of heroes, and like figure out what I need, I know that I need more dancers because I only have like 3 or 4 that I've really built up really well. I know I need some infantry pulse units for Aether Raid defense. In fact, I need more Aether Raid defense characters in general. So that's something that I'm going to be looking for when I'm picking my units. I also want to build one more Astra Season carry, which I think is going to be Laszlo. I'm starting to build him, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to put him on the Astra Season. But I think about, where do I need this unit, what kind of unit do I need, and then that's how I start the process. Beyond that, though, you need to think about this important thing: quantity. If the unit is in a 3 to 4 star pool, can I merge this unit? How much can I merge this unit? This may not seem like a really big thing, but it actually kind of is, because you have negative effects, like a negative IV, right? So let's say you have plus attack, but minus speed. More times than you'd expect, that's going to hurt. You might not double because of that negative stat. You want to make sure that you have at least one more to merge, that it's a +1 to at least get rid of that negative stat. But especially with like Panic Tower now going up to 65 HP, merges really matter. HP really matters, and you want to find units that can like make those checks, do certain things, and get certain rolls done while also being strong enough to take some hits and or pass things like Panic Manners and things like that. Merges matter. So if one of the other things I'll do, like I was just talking about how Laszlo is a candidate for one of my carries. The reason that he's so high up on my candidate is because I have tons of him. I have like 9, and like 9 just 4 stars and a couple 3 stars, so I can definitely +10 the guy once I get the feathers for it. So I was deciding, okay, yeah, I think I am going to pick him. And how do you check this? Well, there's a couple ways. Typically, what I usually do is first I'll check my combat manuals So let's do manage barracks, create combat manuals, and then we'll just take a look at how many, like, well, actually, this is my combat manuals. I wanted to do my manuals. So, and then you can kind of check how many manuals have. Like, there's just 4 or 5 of Laszlo manuals that I have, and I have a couple of him already in not manuals yet. And then I have a couple, like the 3-star ones of him, so I have 5 3-star ones of him. So with the ones that I have that are not manuals, my manuals and my 4-star manuals and 3-star manuals, I know I have enough that I can plus 10 him. Now, let's take a look at a different unit. So, like, let's say I wanted to, for some reason, use Gunter, which I don't. But if I did, I would see that I have, let's say I have one of him in the 3-4-star pool and one of him in the manuals. I probably wouldn't choose him because I can only plus 1 the guy, right? So you want to kind of decide, how far can I push this unit? Can I merge them up so that they are going to be a more viable unit? And especially non-5-star exclusives, merges really make them more efficient, and they're way easier to 5-star than 5-star exclusive. Not 5-star, I'm sorry. Merge than 5-star exclusives. So I highly recommend picking ones that you can definitely get to plus 10. Like, one of the reasons I chose Raisin is I have 10 of these manuals already. And I think I even have one non-manual that I'm like already getting ready to merge once I have the feathers. So I got lots of projects, but like checking these manuals, making sure you have enough to get to a plus 10, or at least plus 1ing just for like, maybe just for like if you're just getting started, you want a unit, you're trying to level them up or whatever. Plus 1ing really helps, but always check to make sure that you have the quantity to like merge up and make the unit a lot more viable that way, okay? So that's the second one. Now, also the big thing is IVs. So if we take a look, let's just go into edit teams here, and I'm just going to scroll down to like the 4 stars, and I pick, let's pick Perry here. Now, this Perry is interesting because she's got a positive speed stat and a negative attack stat. Now, positive speed stat, the things about that. I mean, it's good to have a positive speed stat. For her, she gets more opportunities to double. But the minus attack stat means that she may not kill as much, okay? There actually is some utility with this, with like Gale Force, like to guarantee she doesn't kill it. But if you're planning on merging her, you definitely want to have that like attack stat or something like that. Now, typically for a unit like her, I would probably pick a speed stat over the attack stat because I would make her into a Gale Force unit. But let's say I have another unit, like, let's find someone who doesn't have an ideal IV here. Okay, here we go. This Lilina has a positive HP IV and a negative speed IV. That's pretty garbage. I mean, it's not the worst thing she could have. Like, her biggest thing is she wants to do like one big hit. So she wants a positive attack stat. I would not 4-star or 5-star this unit because it's just not the right IVs. I would make it a manual and wait till I got a better one. Typically, that's what I do. I wait till I have the correct IV that I want for the unit, and that's going to depend on how you're building them. So if you're wanting something that's Gale Forcey, you want speed. If you want something to guarantee you double, you want speed. But if you want, like, you know, a high attack stat, or maybe they have something on them like they're an armor unit with like Bold Fighter or Special Fighter or something like that, or Vengeful Fighter, and you want them to double, or rather they have an automatic double, you want the attack stat. You have to pick the IVs on the way you build them. There are some rare cases that you do want a positive HP stat, like with Varian. Varian's HP stat is really important. But most of the time you're going to be looking at like attack and speed, and you just kind of want to figure out what's beneficial for this unit that I'm looking at. Do I have one that fits that role? And can I merge to get rid of the negative stat? Or does the negative stat really hurt me that much? Okay. Now, there's a few units where I don't think the IVs matter too much if you 5-star them. Like, if you have certain units that you're just going to be using for utility, such as dancers or things like that, I mean, it does matter. But if you have, like, one Legendary Azura, right, and the IVs aren't ideal, it's still going to work. Legendary Azura is still going to do her role. Just make sure she doesn't go into combat or anything like that most of the time, and you're going to be fine. Some units, it is okay to not have the ideal IV spread, but 9 times out of 10, if you're building a unit, check those IVs, make sure they're what you're looking for, make sure they're what you want, and they're ideal for that unit. Okay. Lastly is utility. What does this unit bring to my team? What's the benefit to having this unit 5 stars and or merged up? Why would I even use this unit? There's a dozen units that can do the same thing. Why this one? And honestly, that's one of the biggest questions that I always have when I'm doing anything with these heroes. So I can give you an example of one that I'm working on right now, which is Laszlo. If I can find the guy. Oh wait, he'll be in the... I just got him to 40 today. So and I haven't done anything other than give advantage. What does this bring to the table? Why would I want to merge this guy up? Well, his weapon has fantastic utility. This makes him an ideal vantage sweeper. This is actually a unique effect in the game. He brings a different kind of sweeper into the game that I think works really well. Combined with the right support units that I already have, I could use something like a Corrin, I could use dancers, whatever I decide, and he actually ends up being pretty good. He brings unique utility, he brings a unique form of sweeper into one of my teams, and I think that really helps. What's another unit that has some good utility? Sylvia. Now, again, this is one that I haven't merged up, but I'm going to be. And it's not ideal IVs, but the utility she brings is a giant HP pool for a dancer. So without merges, as you can see, she's not merged. I give her the attack HP plus 5, HP and speed 2, which could be an HP 5. I just gave her that for the extra speed stat. But what's fantastic about this build that I have here, the infantry pulse, she's paired with Matthew usually, and I always get that infantry pulse to make his special go down by 1 charge. I can use her on a defense team to make sure that that infantry pulse goes off. She has utility because she's got a decent res stat, a good speed stat, okay attack stat. It does sometimes actually work out pretty good, but the HP stat is huge. And if I start investing in her and merging this unit, it's going to be even bigger, and infantry pulse will always go off. It is a really good thing to have something like this on those teams. That's the utility she brings. That's why I chose to 5-star her. So those are the 4 different things that I go through. Just to quickly go over them again. What do you need? Just to check what roles you're looking for. Maybe there's something you don't have filled. Quantity. Do you have enough to merge this unit up? IVs. Do you have the ideal IVs to make the unit even worth merging? Because if you only have like 1 positive defense stat and the rest of them don't have the one you want, maybe you don't want to do it right now. You might want to hold off until you get a better IV. And then utility. Is it even worth it? Do I need this particular unit's utility, or should I just figure it out with a different unit? Maybe there's a different unit that brings a better weapon refine or something like that to the table that could just be better than them altogether. So, hopefully that helped you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give me a like. If you like the channel and want to see more content like this, please think about subscribing. If you disliked the video, please hit dislike and maybe leave a comment telling me why you didn't like the video. I'd love to figure out what I can do better that would maybe make you enjoy this video a little bit more. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you next time.